You're watching the Utica Comets Faceoff.
Welcome back to Utica Comets Faceoff. The Comets have played 5 games so far this season, but already 2 of them have gone to a shootout, and that means that the Comets goalies have been tested in all sorts of situations so far, including 5-on-5 play, 4-on-4, power plays, penalty kills, 3-on-3 in overtime, and also, of course, the shootouts themselves, which is basically a skills competition. So joining us tonight, Utica Comets goalie development coach Curtis Sanford. Coach, we often talk about how rosters shift so much year to year. We also talk about how even in a single season, they might change a lot. We've seen that so far this year. Comets also in a partnership this year between the Canucks and the Blues. You got a lot of new players with you. So how has it been working with the goalies from 2 different organizations?
Yeah, and it's you never know how it's going to go until you get right into it. And I think, the coaching staff, we've come together and we've worked well together, and I think that's kind of extended to the players. And because like I said, you just never know what's going to unfold when you have 2 organizations merged together the way we have. But I like what we've seen. I watch the games from up above. The work ethic is really high. I think the attention to detail is really high, and the guys are having fun. So I think, with that combination, I think it's been a success this early in the season, and hopefully it continues.
And as we just mentioned, 2 of the Comets' 5 games this year have gone to the shootout. Head coach Trent Cole actually referred to games like this as actually maximizing your time on the ice. And of course, the goalies have had a chance to do that. And it was both Jake Kiley and John Gillies individually who have each had one of the shootouts so far this year. So what exactly is it that you can learn by seeing your goalies in these extended situations so early in the season?
Yeah, I think it just comes down to, timing, obviously. Inside of that play, a lot of the time it's trying to match the speed of the player. It's trying to take away what he wants to do. It's almost like a chess match at that point where you're giving him information, he's giving you information, and then you're just trying to outsmart him. And I think what I've seen so far is in Jake's shootout, he had a really solid approach. And with John's shootout, again, it's such a timing thing, and it's something that you have to, work back into. And you got to remember that these guys haven't played, games like that include a shootout, let alone 3-on-3 overtime in, 365 days almost. So it's getting back in the swing of things. Definitely it's something that you can prepare for early in the season, but a lot of times you're not really there kind of focusing on shootouts that early in the season. So, you just kind of hope for the best when it's this early, but at least it gives you an opportunity to see what you have. If you got to adjust some things and talk about some different things with goalies, but it also gives you an opportunity to see what you have with players.
And how specifically might this actually help their development as players? We know that there's only so much that you can kind of simulate in those practices. Head coach Trent Cole said yesterday, actually, that he thinks one of the practices this week has been one of the hardest in the careers of some of these players, is what at least he heard through the coaches' chain from the players telling the other coaches. So what can you learn from these situations that are so rare in practice, but you're getting a chance to see so early?
You can look at your practices and your games now, and you've checked off a lot of boxes. Sometimes you might not see a shootout until game 22, 23, and it can take you by surprise. But now we've checked this box. We know now that we're playing regular season games, and there's potential for 3-on-3s and shootouts. So now we've checked those boxes in games, and we've checked those boxes in practices. So now that we can tune up for them.
And Coach, you have 3 goalies under your watch this year. How do you kind of make sure that you're keeping track of each of their varying styles and kind of allow them to grow in different ways uniquely?
I'm excited with all 3 guys. They're all different goalies, which is really exciting. And that's what I like, and that's a challenge that I like, is I'm not trying to make robots out of everybody. You try and take the assets that they bring to the table. You try and clean up some habits and details, and hopefully you let their athleticism instincts take over in the game.
Utica Comets goalie development coach Curtis Sanford, thank you so much for your time tonight. Let's take a look at how the goalies have performed so far. John Gillies on the left has the most AHL experience prior to this season. He's a player who's gotten in 3 games so far. He was out with concussion symptoms at one point in the season, which allowed Jake Kiley to start games back-to-back, the 2nd and 3rd of the year. And then the records speak for themselves, both of them with wins already this year. Gillies has had that 1 shootout loss, Jake Kiley with his win to get the 1-1. Goals against average, a little different for Kiley, who's faced quite more shots in his game, but the save percentages are definitely up there for the Comets. So, oh say can you see, it's almost time for puck drop. Thank you for joining us tonight, and stay friendly and stay tuned.